Hey Jews, just before Shabbat here in Israel, I wanted to share some inspirational stories. The people connected to God and the Torah, especially here in the land of Israel, it's beautiful to see how they live by emunah, how they live on their faith. And that's something like I'm consciously trying to practice and accumulate for myself and see in my life, really see that blessing that I read and understand from the Torah and our history, that's how a Jew should live, by the grace of God. God will provide for us. We just need to connect to Him. And how do we connect to Him? We perfect ourselves. How do we perfect ourselves? We live by the Torah. We live by the laws of the Torah. I did a whole series, there are a few classes about consciousness, where I talk about consciously following the laws of the Torah and why that's important. So please go and look those. I'm going to link them in my description. And this is corresponding obviously to maybe it's not so obvious, but every week we read a portion of the Torah. And that is somehow, says Rav Arknave also, and you can understand it yourself intuitively, that there's a certain spiritual light that comes into our consciousness, into our reality, during these weeks. Every week it's like corresponding somehow to the Torah. So if we're learning the Torah, we're understanding what's coming into our reality, what's coming into our consciousness, what's the message from God. Okay, so it's all about the laws right now and why, and doing teshuvah, repenting and coming back to live by the laws of the Torah, the laws with the Torah chords. Okay, and why that's important, and how we can see now a separation between what is in the Torah laws, like for example, thou shalt not murder, okay, and in the laws of the 70 nations, okay, and why it's so important that as Jews we understand our history and our information, the knowledge, the Torah wisdom and knowledge, okay, that we have as the nation of Israel. Okay, if you identify as a Jew, know that there's a very tight definition of what that means. What is Judaism? What is a Jew? What is the nation of Israel? What is the land of Israel? What is all of this? And what is all of this? The other nations, the 70 nations. And so we must know the story, the history of our reality, 5-dimensional, 3 physical, 1 is spiritual, and 1 is time. We need to understand and incorporate the spiritual aspect of our reality into our daily lives, into our reality. Because otherwise, if you don't know what the purposes of life is, according to something, not just your willy-nilly delusions, or what you wish it would be, what you want it to be, what everyone else is doing. Okay, it's not the same. You must understand that being a part of the nation of Israel means something. It's a responsibility. And this information was entrusted to us. These laws were given to us to follow so that we will be free, mentally free, okay, under a different system, not the system of the zodiac, believe it or not. All those horoscopes and whatever, okay? So this is like science and zodiac together, actually. Okay, whatever. The best that they can do, which sometimes is very good, because also sometimes some of you Jews are working towards making their reality make sense, okay? And advance, okay? And great, fine. But there's a different also role for the Jew in this reality, and that's a spiritual role. Okay, and we're expected to combine this in a way that's normal. Okay, not disconnect completely from reality and from what's going on here in physical reality and just completely try to be, all spiritual, which doesn't work. It becomes a little bit distorted, which is what we see a lot with the ultra-Orthodox communities, quite frankly. Okay, because they're so disconnected from reality in a way, out of good intention, but whatever. Like, what I'm saying, you guys, is that the nation of Israel, okay, the progeny, okay, the great grandchildren and so forth, of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, who God took for him and said, I will make a nation out of you that will be for me, and I will take care of them. They're not going to be under the zodiac, randomness, whatever happens, you're on your own, guys. Or chas v'shalom, you connect to some other spiritual energy, okay, some other spiritual force, okay, and you rely on that, okay, because we know the structure here of the universe. Yes, there could be some energy here, okay? So if you're following a different spirituality, even if you're just following any other spirituality, okay, that come from other people, you're connected to an intermediate source of energy. The source of everything is God. And the blessing and the privilege that we have as Jews is that we get everything from God. But we have to belong to this family. Okay, you can get kicked out of the family for acting against our interests. So, for example, our interests are keeping the Brit Milah, or our interest is to keeping God's grace on us, God's grace and mercy, so that we can fulfill our duties, which are also actually beautiful. They help us try to perfect ourselves, try to live in harmony with our surroundings, with our world, with the physical world, with our times, celebrating the right holidays, rejoicing when the time is right to rejoice, grieving when the time is right to grieve, going to war when the time is right to go to war, according to the laws of the Torah, not according to the laws of the other nations, which is what is happening right now in our reality. Okay? Israel stood down on October 7th because the courts prevented them from reacting. Okay? And that is also what we're reading about in this Torah portion, Shoftim, the judges. Because there is no justice. Okay? There is no justice without these laws, because these laws are justice. Okay? There is a heavenly court, and the heavenly court is judging us every single minute of every single day. And on Rosh Hashanah coming up, the new year, it is Judgment Day. Okay? It is Judgment Day. Did you act by these laws, or did you act by these laws? And the judgment will be rendered by these laws, the laws of the Torah. Okay? And that's why you need to learn them and live by them, because everything comes from God. All of God's mercy comes to those who are following his laws. Do you understand? So when you are following his laws and you're living in this reality, okay, then that's justice. You're getting, you're getting even more than you deserve, because God is merciful and God is loving and kind. But you have to be in this family. Look at where this blue line is circled around, okay? It's very exclusive. There's so many things that we have to do. We work for God. Our time is centered around what God tells us it's centered around. Okay, not anything else. So you will be judged by whose laws you are following. Are you following the other people's laws, the 70 nations laws, the laws of the 70 nations? Okay? Or the laws of the nation of Israel. Okay? And so, like I said, I wanted to share some inspiring stories, okay? Because, my friend, so this whole thing, I was thinking about this because it's so relevant to our reality right now, what we're reading in the Torah, which is Mishpatim, Judges. Please read it this week. Please understand that also every morning we pray that the judges of this righteous laws will be reestablished, especially here in the Holy Land of Israel, the land of Israel, where right now currently our Supreme Court, okay, is judging us, the chutzpah, from their laws, from their perspective of reality, okay, which is different than this, okay? So that's why we need that the upper courts and the lower courts are handing out, rendering the same judgments. Okay, so for, like I said, let's say you are in California. Jews. Okay, you're in California. Okay, so over here, this court, okay, which is aligned with the courts of heaven, hopefully, B'ezrat Hashem, okay, going by the Torah laws and rendering their judgments with this justice, okay, there's no abortion. There's no abortion. There is no abortion. While over here in California, abortion is up until, I think, 24 hours after the baby has been born. Okay, so the court of heaven is in discord with this law over here. And they'll keep going, people. They'll keep going because it's opposite. It's upside down world over here in total chaos. Okay? It's been so corrupted that we're at the bottom of the barrel, guys, in terms of, resources that are even available to you, the 99%, okay? Because it's so corrupt. They're working once again towards a new world order, which our information, okay, our knowledge and our wisdom tell us that when they get together and they get united, it's bad for the world. And it's especially bad for us, nation of Israel, because we have a whole different system going over here, okay? So my friend had asked me, well, don't you just think that God is just going to be like, well, you tried your very hardest and, you weren't able to keep any Shabbat because, you just decided to live in a place where there were no other Jews, okay? But so, with that, you did the best you could. No. You have to be at least on the right path, trying to shape up. If you live in a community where there are no Jews, which I didn't live anywhere near Jews, okay, so when I started to keep Shabbat, which I'm commanded to keep, I was lonely. I had to drive 45 minutes away and be a guest at somebody's home so I could properly celebrate Shabbat and keep Shabbat and learn about Shabbat, okay? But then, after growing and understanding, I made the sacrifice of giving up my gorgeous home with a lot of land in a place where there was no Jews and move over here to Eretz Israel, the holy nation, to mamash try to come home to this Beit Yaakov, the house of Jacob, to come back home and to be Bnei Israel. I want to be a part of this. Okay? So now I live in a ghetto. Okay, and now I live in an Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox ghetto. B'simcha, but to try and live somewhere normal and have a sukkah balcony, which you absolutely have to have. Absolutely have to have that. Okay, and here in the corrupted and laws of the 70 nation, Erev Rav, state of Israel, okay, with anti-Torah laws, okay, not part of the house of Jacob, okay? I can't find any apartments. I can't find any affordable apartments, especially not any of the new ones, but are kind of nice for 2024. They're just what's happening here is a shunda. It's so shameful what's happening here in the housing market, okay? But Beseda, we understand because the Torah tells us that at the end of days, which we are in, it's going to be very, very difficult to be here, especially here in the Holy Land, the house of Jacob, the Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, following these laws, learning this information, okay, living their lives according to this righteous information, okay, and being hated by everybody, including the Erev Rav that are here in the land of Israel, marching for gay pride, LGBTQ, all that stuff in the most holy place in the universe, okay? So, and wherever you are, you're either supporting that or not. But anyway, so I tell my friend, yeah, God, once you start trying to live like you're supposed to live as a Jew by the Torah laws, once you start getting on that path, then yeah, God is extremely generous and merciful and patient with you. Okay, and then you're judged favorably, obviously. But if you're not even going to bother, okay? To learn what about Shabbat, to learn why you should do Pesach the most you can, what Rosh Hashanah means, what you need to do to prepare all of this month, and what this month of Elul is. Elul is so special. Ani ledodi vedodi li. I am for God and God is for me, basically. Okay, this is the month that you only have to go. God is coming towards you this month of Elul. Do tshuva, repent. Get under this shelter. Get under the wing. Get on top of the wings of the eagles. Okay, sail all above this chaos. Okay, and be protected. And now for the headline of this class. So, some inspirational stories. So I know an avrech, that's somebody who learns Torah. He has dedicated his life to learn Torah. He goes, that's his job. He goes, and there are people that sponsor those people. Okay, there's people who are not so great at just studying Torah, or maybe they're like me who, lived a different way and then repented and came back and started living like a ultra Orthodox Jew, which is just a Torah observant Jew. I'm learning the laws of the Torah. I'm learning the wisdom of the Torah. I'm learning the knowledge of the Torah. I'm looking at my life now from a different perspective with Jewish ideology. I know what the purpose of my life is, and I'm trying, actually, consciously, to fulfill that. I'm trying to absolve myself of all of the stains and stuff that I did to my soul by following a different ideology. Not connecting to the true God, the source of life, okay? And becoming healthier, be'ezrat Hashem, every day in my ruach, nefesh, v'neshama, v'guf, so in my body and in my soul, okay? Becoming more healthy, more metukan, more perfected, okay? Every day, that's my work, That's what I have to keep focused on. That's why I need to know the laws. Okay? So everything I do keeps me aware and focused on the fact that there is a God, there is a halacha. What do I have to do in this instance? What do I have to do in this instance? Why do I have to be thinking about that all the time? Well, because then you're consciously thinking about God and you're consciously following these laws, which very often are the very opposite of the other laws. Okay? So you have to know what is right and what is wrong in every instance. And for that, you need to be conscious of the fact that there is a God, a judge, a maker, a creator, and a judge. And we will be judged on everything we do because we always have to be aware and to choose with our free will and our free choice to go after these laws, to be included in this house, to be cared for. So like I said, so somebody that I know who's like fully in it, living the Torah, and they know they're living the Torah, which is like amazing emunah, amazing faith and trust in God. And they see that literally everything just works out for them. They really feel it. Like, for example, she told me, this is somebody I know, okay? She told me that, like, they were looking for a, they had some kids, whatever. This year they're going to go into nursery or whatever. They need a nursery for the child. Okay, but there was nothing around and they didn't know where to go and they had no idea. And they were just like, okay, well, Hashem, God's going to just provide for us. And so, it was a Shabbat or whatever, and then they didn't even think about it. And then on Sunday morning, their neighbor decided to open a nursery, and she called her. Like, she didn't have to look for it. Okay, then another time they decided to go to Netanya. I think they live in Jerusalem, okay? And they don't have ways. They barely have, literally they're living from like month to month on the grace of God. Like, people are literally just supporting them. So they'll grow and they'll learn and so their Torah will protect us. Because their Torah is what's protecting us. It's this connection that they're making with God that is giving us this connection, which is a shield. Just look at this blue circle around the nation of Israel, okay? That is naturally, it's separating us from this chaos, from this reality. It's protecting us, okay? So all out here is anti-Semitism, okay? Because it's anti this, okay? And all inside this is Bnei Israel, the children of God, who God is protecting, whose God is going to redeem. Okay? So you have to come in. And this is the best time to do it, Elul. And for Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the exam day, guys. Rosh Hashanah is the Olympics, the spiritual Olympics. Okay, train this month. Train, learn, understand. Use your awareness to learn the right things. Live by the right things. Live by the right laws. And then, like I said, so these people, they're going from Jerusalem to Netanya. Okay, they have this old car, that's just alive by, again, God is just making this car move at this point. And so they start out, and they don't have a Waze or anything. They don't even have phones. Like, they don't have phones that you can text on even. Okay, so they don't need to be connected. They don't need to know what's going on over here. These guys are living the Torah in the land of Israel. Okay, meanwhile, you can hear what happens in my neighborhood, this ghetto, where people don't act normally here. They don't act like normal people. Sorry to say that, but like, they're so disconnected that it's like, it's become a little bit crooked in here. Okay, it's a little bit too weird sometimes. Like, that's not normal behavior, and they do that all of the time. It's super. Anyway, I mean, Baruch Hashem, they keep Shabbat, and that's why we're here. And Baruch Hashem. And there are a lot of tzaddikim here, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying in general. I mean, but why do we have to be squished into these ghettos living like this? Erev Rav of the state of Israel. Why do Jews have to live in ghettos here? Why can't I own land? I mean, there's answers for all these things, but let's get back to the point. So they're in their car, and they're going to Netanya from Jerusalem. They don't have Waze. They don't have any directions. They have no clue. And they just start going west. And they get caught in traffic. And then the guy looks over and he sees somebody he knows. Hey. He rolls down his window, whatever. They talk. Where are you going? He says, I'm going to Netanya. They're like, oh, we're going to Netanya. Can we follow you? And so they just followed that guy all the way to Netanya. I mean, I wish that would happen to me every single day, something like that. Or like the Avrech who goes to study Torah, and his Torah protects all of us all day long. He goes to learn Torah every day, and he decided to go to a different kollel, a different place where you learn Torah, okay? And you sit and you learn the wisdom and the laws and the knowledge of the Torah so that you can protect us, okay? So your spiritual light protects us, that you're creating anyway. So he decided to go to learn in a different kollel, and from like in a different city even. And when he made that decision that he was going to go do that, then a new bus line opened up that was literally from his house to like a block away from the place where he decided to go learn. That's siyata dishmaya. That's hope from above. Okay? And we all need that. And we all get it, actually. We all get it to a certain extent. But these people are living this. They know that it's okay. They needed to find another apartment. Okay? So they went to their lease ran out on their other ridiculously overpriced, disgusting apartment, okay, that we are living in over here, because we can't afford anything in the land of Israel that's decent for us, meaning it has people around us that are going to not desecrate the Sabbath all over the place, okay? People who are also dedicated to upholding these laws and this tradition and being a nation, being a part of the nation of Israel, okay? Not being a poshe am Yisrael, a criminal of Israel. You're called a criminal of Israel if you don't do these things. There's certain things that are cutting you off. You're not considered a nation of Israel. So you're just fooling yourself. I'm sorry to say that, but you are fooling yourself if you think that you're not keeping Shabbat and you're somehow a Jew. There's a definitions of what it means to be here. Okay, that's why it's like you're kicked out. That's why it's like God has turned his face away from his nation. Because you have chosen to mix in here. You have chosen to go after the gods of other nations, where we know where they come from. Just like if you were a Jew and you converted to Islam, okay, you would understand that you've now chosen a different God, right? Or converted somehow to Christianity, right? Then you would know that you chose, okay? But as long as you think that you were a Jew and you are not doing any of things, you're not praying every single day to God, Hashem, the God of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, okay? Then you are fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself to think that you're a Jew and to think that you're in the nation of Israel. That is a lie. And that's a lie that you have been taught for the most part at this point. Okay? We learned bad things from generations gone by who for whatever reason, okay? For whatever reason, and there were lots of reasons that people went astray, okay? Because reality is very difficult sometimes, as we know from the nation of Israel. But sometimes when we don't understand what's happening, some things that look bad are actually good. Okay? They're actually good. So we don't understand sometimes. And then therefore, because we really have to follow the wisest people in the nation of Israel. Okay? We really need to follow the people who know Torah the most. Okay? And that's why we really need to read for ourselves the Torah. And that's why I always keep saying, because a very, very important part of learning the Torah is knowing Hebrew. Okay? And that's why Israelis have such an advantage, because they mostly speak Hebrew, even though it's not the same Hebrew. It's not the Lashon HaKodesh, but the leap from understanding not holy Hebrew to holy Hebrew is not the same as if you don't even know Hebrew. Okay, so I'm going to link some books in my description. And the Me'am Loaz from Rav Yaakov Kuli he created this book for our situation. He knew, because he was a genius, okay? He knew that as time goes on and as we get to this year, 5,784, the end of time, guys, okay, the end of time, end times, when everything goes to chaos. You can see that now, okay? So now you have to understand that he knew that when at this time, by this time, because already in his time, which was 300 years ago, 350 years ago, he saw that people were losing their Hebrew, and therefore you can't really understand the Torah the way you need to understand the Torah, because it's four-dimensional. And the key to these other dimensions is the Hebrew. You have to understand Hebrew, okay? So he created Ma'am Loaz, this anthology of the Torah, which combines all the dimensions of the Torah that you need to know. Okay? So please go and invest in all these books. And understand and start reading, start learning Torah every week. Start getting on the right time. Start getting on the right time so you'll understand your reality. So when you're looking around in your reality, you're not fully plugged in here to the chaos. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Pandemic, vaccines, Iran, the nuclear threat, the this, the that, the October 7th. The fact that Israel has different laws that are literally killing us, literally tying our hands, not allowing us to defend ourselves. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so Elul, Rosh Hashanah, all the things in my description, please go and take a look and start learning and understanding what it is to be a Jew, and so get this Siyata Dishmaya. The Siyata Dishmaya, that's what I write up here. So, with the help of God, please, let's get into this, under this protective shield, the shield of Abraham, Magen Avraham, and Magen David, as we all should know, have heard about at least the Magen David. Okay, that's protection, that's a shield. And we have shields. Okay, the shield of Abraham and the shield of David, and all of the things that are written that how the Torah, learning the Torah, is protecting us. Okay, so now do you think, okay, now understanding that, you think we should pull all those guys that are now protecting us, getting us under this protection? You think we should just all now pull them away from the Torah and stick them in the army, in the IDF, where these people we'll tell them to stand down while we massacre you. Stand down. Don't respond. Oh, there were rogue hero Jews that didn't listen to that stand down order and went down and fought the Hamas and saved thousands of lives, or hundreds, or whatever. And now they're being prosecuted. Now justice is not being served for that. Okay, but if they were going by the Torah laws, we would be like, this wouldn't even be a question. We would all be celebrating those giborim, those righteous people that follow the laws of God and get God's protection and do the right thing in every situation. Do the right thing in every situation and know what it is according to the Torah, because we follow that. Okay, and then you will get siyata dishmaya. Okay, like for example, they, like I was saying, and I didn't finish, but they were looking for an apartment. They had to leave where they were living, and they didn't know where to go. There was nothing available, and where they live, it's so expensive. It's like literally they've converted storage units for whole families to live in. It's disgusting, you guys, but they do it for the Torah. They do it because, you know, especially in and around Jerusalem and all those places, the centers of Torah, and they live in terrible conditions. Like I mean, I saw people, like, because I was looking for places also at one point over there, and I saw people living in villas, like mamash, like really like big houses, and then they were renting out their pool, like they had a pool, and they had like a pool shed, basically, like where you would get ready. So you'd have like a shower and a bathroom and like the pool house, but it was very small. Okay, they were renting out that to a family of 3 or 4 of Torah observant, you know, talmidim, like people who go to study and learn Torah, avrechim. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. So they had to go and they had to find a place, and it was very difficult. And so they went and stayed with her sister, I guess, and while they were looking, and then a decent apartment opened up in a decent neighborhood, lots of young people with their young kids, and that's exactly what they need, and very close to the buses and stuff. So anyway, a lot of people went to look at that apartment, and a lot of people offered more money to live in that apartment, but the people picked them. Because of course they're going to pick them. B'siyata dishmaya. God wants them to have a nice place, as nice as possible, you know, with the things that they need, the things that are important, like people who will keep Shabbat, people to pray with, that you will have some good people to pray with, that you'll get the blessing of the Kohanim. If you are a Kohen and you're not blessing the nation of Israel, we're not getting that blessing from God. You're a Kohen. You have a job to do in the nation of Israel. Okay? So you need to be, we need you to stand in front of us and give us the blessing. That's what the Kohanim do. Okay? So, look, you have to understand what's going on in reality to get the siyata dishmaya, which people have, and it's so beautiful to see that. I was so uplifted to hear her stories, and there were many more. They ran out of money. They literally ran out of money. They didn't know what they'd do. Someone gave them, several thousand shekels. Boom. They didn't even ask. Okay? Because God's providing for them, and they're living on the derech HaTorah. They're living by the Torah. And Baruch Hashem, even in our degenerative days, at the end of time, okay, there are still people and here I am again in this neighborhood. All right, Bezrat Hashem, please pray for me that I will find also, that I will get my siyata dishmaya, and that I'll be able to move to a decent apartment in a religious, observant community with people who love God and are trying to always do the very best that they can. With a sukkah balcony, so I can observe the times here in the Holy Land. If anyone has or knows about any apartments like that, please let me know. All right. Shabbat Shalom, Nation of Israel. Shabbat Shalom. Learn Torah. Keep the laws. Get the help from heaven.